I tend to move the camera a lot over here because I don't like filming people. I mean, it's cool if I pick them up as I'm walking by them, but if I start to slow down and I'm going to be in like a bunch of them, hold on a second, and I'm going to be like in a group of them, I try to always move it away, you know. But yeah, I think I figured out what this building here is. And if I'm right, I probably shouldn't talk about it ever again. Because I'm a safety first kind of guy. I don't need people coming around my house or poaching me on the street. I get it. But and it answers a lot of questions I had about it. Perhaps someday I'll share it with you guys. But for now, I'm just gonna chill on this. But I will call your attention to the fact that if you see the way you can drive in over here, this might clue you in as to what I'm talking about. There's two fences. Well, this is paper fence, but see, there's two fences. There's a fence, and then once you get the pass, just 10 feet in, there's another fence. Why do you think they would have something like that? I know some listen to this will know. I could probably dance around it. They needed a place very locally to store and move product that is only available here, but it's very, very fresh and you can't take it too far. So it goes there, and then from there it gets picked up and goes to other places. But when you got to know what kind of produce it is, and just using the power of deduction, imagine what kind of produce you need that kind of two-door system for. Like, say for instance, bananas aren't going to jump out of a truck and try to get out, right? But other kinds of produce might jump out and try to get out. So what you do is when you drive in, you lock one thing behind you before you open the next one. And I looked in there, and there's nothing really conclusive about what you see. It could be any kind, from the view you can get. It could be anything being stored there. There's a lot of like warehouse equipment, things that move larger things, and yeah. But I got a pretty good idea of what it is. And that's kind of the end of that. I was talking about earlier in my little wake up video about Regan from Transforming the Darkness. How, and I don't think she's ever mentioned the looking glass aspect or the timeline converging aspect, but it fits in so well with what she's talking about. How different aspects of your personality, or different personalities that you may have thought you moved past, you'll find are returning to you. Certain ones of us that have divinity and are experiencing these things. And if you're not experiencing these things, it doesn't mean you don't have divinity. It just means you're still kind of under the spell. Yeah, I did a video a few weeks ago saying how I didn't think people were real, and some of them aren't. But I don't include everyone in that. You know, it's just, I hate to keep, banging back on Da Vinci there, but that saying of there are those who will see when shown, and those who will not see. There's plenty of people that aren't going to see. Those are the people I'm referring to as the nons, or as an NPC, or organic portal. There's no soul there. So, I mean, feeling bad for those people is just a deficit on you because they don't have empathy. They don't function in the way that we function. They're assets, like trees or plants or dogs or things for a video game. But that's that group of people. It doesn't mean everyone that's not talking like I am has no soul. It just means they're still sleeping or they're still under the spell. And that's what it is, it's spells, it's magic spells. You know, or whatever. Or it's close to magic spells. But before she started talking about it, I noticed that was happening to me. Where suddenly I started listening to, like, just for instance, I'd get back into a certain pastime, not even a bad one, just like things that I thought I'd moved on from would suddenly roar back up and kind of assert their place in my life. You know, like, what the hell is this, you know? I thought I was over this. And then, you know, I have to think about the fact that I do have, you know, on paper anyway, there's the schizophrenia thing and the DID situation, which I'd like to show my paperwork for that soon, because there's a lot of people on YouTube that talk about how they have this and that. And it's just a way to get attention. I see a lot of girls doing this because sometimes girls can be retarded and they just want the attention. So today I'm Clara. It's like, that's not how it works for me. It's how it's never worked for me. But whether or not it's even a real thing or real in the way it's explained to you, the illness is like a whole nother subject that could be talked about. But anyway, those things were returning, like just different behaviors that I thought I had moved on from, and they were coming back. And I was starting to get bummed out because I'm like, oh wow, well, this is probably, why is this happening again? And they're not all negative, just different things I thought I moved on from. And then when I saw her video about different aspects of personalities returning and having to deal with them, not try to force them away, but kind of try to find some kind of truce with them, or acknowledge them, and then work them back into you, you know? I then put that together with the looking glass thing I've seen recently, about how the timelines are coalescing into one, no matter what they do past the year 2012, no matter what input they put in to have a different result, the result always ended up the same. So no matter what they did, it was turning out to end up with the same result, and that was terrifying them. And I think the Mandela effect fits into that. They want us to think they're causing it, but they're not causing it. I usually visit a web forum called X every day. It's one of the sub forums on 4chan. And it's a great place to get information. There's a lot of truth drop there. And I often go in there and try to help people out, like help them understand things. And once in a while, I'll learn something too. There is a lot of bullshit in there. You know, you get some of that poll overflow sometimes where you just have shit posters in there, but there is some great information there. And they were talking about manifestation. Usually when someone mentions manifestation, they want something. Like they want a girlfriend or money. And it doesn't work that way. In fact, I just did that video the other day. I like how when I do a video about something, I just, in my mind, I think I've solved it. You know, like, oh, I already did a video, I solved that problem. No, these are concepts that you can talk about forever and still not scratch the surface. But I kind of gave a quick way how to do it, how to manifest things. You can't just create a pile of money. But what you do is you create an abstract concept, a construct that exists only in your mind. But it's so detailed and you put enough will into it that it has an effect on the 3D, on the area that's around you. So you can't create a big pile of money. It's not how it works. And in fact, I don't think you can create anything quite so self-serving, because evil, what was the word I'm looking for? My articulation machine. I just woke up a couple hours ago. Evil intent, really, you can't create anything with that, because evil doesn't create. If that were the case, they wouldn't need us to do anything. They could just sit around and make all the fucked up evil shit they want. So yeah, all the things that a lot of people would want to use it for, you can't. But you could change the reality around you if you just do the shit like I explained. And it works. It's worked for me. Some things are harder to do than others, because it's not so much a case of willpower and wanting to do it. It's a case of trying to fight your subconscious that tells you you can't do it. Like, your subconscious is always running in the back of your head, dictating what you can and cannot do, and it runs most of your day. Like, that's the thing that makes you not even reach for the shelf, because your subconscious is already telling you, oh, you can't reach that. You know you can't reach that. We've been over this, right? So you have to fight against that. You have to not only believe that it can happen now, but believe that was never a time when it couldn't happen. That's the tough part. But it can be done. And it depends on what you're trying to do. Some things can be done simply, like the hiccup thing. That fucking situation is solved. I don't even have to do the mechanical thing. I just have to say it and it fucking happens. But that's a relatively small thing, and it is self-serving to an extent, but it's not like wishing for a fucking pile of money. You know, that's retarded. All right, here we go and get some water.